Is a developing story we will continue to follow and bring you more news and the latest developments as soon as we get them. Well, now a suspect is in custody following a stabbing at a school in Florida. 3 people, including 2 students, were injured in this attack. According to the Walton County Sheriff's Office, the suspect got to Walton Middle School before the first bell and then went into a restroom where they came out masked and armed with a sharp object. The suspect then attacked the first students, then a paraprofessional, then another student. Shortly after fleeing the scene, the suspect was caught by law enforcement. The 2 students who were injured were life flighted to separate hospitals.
This is the worst thing you can deal with as a sheriff, as a school professional, the police department, any one of us. This is what we all fear. And so we're going to do our best to do this correctly and do it right and be sensitive to the victims and their families.
This is, again, another developing story that has come in today. We will continue to update you both on air and online as soon as we get new information. Just check out fox10tv.com. Well, keeping kids safe while they're at school is a top priority for parents around the state. An Alabama Senate passed a bill last week that looks to strengthen criminal penalties for students who threaten violence in the classroom. Alabama political correspondent Jessica Umbro joins us live from the Capitol. Jessica, the Senate made some changes to this bill. Why? All right, Jessica, thank you. The bill will go back to the House, where the chamber will need to sign off on the changes made by the Senate before it can get to the Governor Ivey desk for a final signature. Well, new tonight, federal investigators have released a preliminary report on that deadly plane crash in Bon Secour Bay earlier this month. The National Transportation Safety Board details communications between air traffic control and the pilot in the moments before the crash. Dana Rule and John George, both of Gulf Shores, were killed when their Beechcraft A-36 went down on March 7th. The NTSB has not released the cause, and this investigation continues. As airport misery persists and patience wears thin, lawmakers on Capitol Hill seem closer to a deal to fund TSA and the rest of Homeland Security while leaving out funding immigration enforcement. President Trump supports the plan, but Democrats still need to agree. Let's go to Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor. All right, let's take a live look outside today where there looks to be a little bit of a haze in the air. Of course, we saw that fire going on in Baldwin County at Gulf State Park area that Hal was showing us there. The weather has been quite warm, but really nice, and you hate to see something like this brush fire get out of hand over there.
Yeah, there's, dry air, dry conditions. We've got a rainfall deficit. It's about 7.5 inches for the year. And so, we do have wildfire.
All right, Jason, we will see you then. After overnight fighting between Israel and Iran, oil prices surged back above $100 a barrel. Brent crude, the global benchmark, topped more than $114 Monday and then slipped below $100 after President Trump said talks with Iran were productive. Iranian officials deny any dialogue with Washington, even as Iran and U.S. ally Israel continue to trade strikes. The conflict is now in its 4th week. Meanwhile, U.S. gas prices rose for the 24th straight day today. AAA says the average for regular is $3.98 a gallon. That's the highest since 2022, up more than $1 just in the past month. The spike comes as the war in Iran disrupts tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, a key route for global oil shipments. Even with strong U.S. production, gas prices are set on a global market, meaning overseas disruptions hit drivers here. Analysts say any drop in oil prices can take time to show up at the pump, and new concerns are emerging after an explosion at a major Texas oil refinery also happened yesterday.
All right, checking out the area right now from a traffic perspective. It looks pretty good on Interstate 10. A lot of cars out there, so rush hour is upcoming, but I see a lot of green on the board for Mobile and for Baldwin County right now. We're not seeing any major delays at the Wallace Tunnel. Looking good there. I-65 in good shape. Checking Pensacola, everything looks fine here too. A little bit slow westbound on I-10 near 110, but 110 definitely better than it looked yesterday afternoon at this time, and the Bay Bridges look good. So we'll keep watching traffic as we get closer to that 5 o'clock rush hour.
All right, Jason, thank you. And still ahead here on Fox News at 4, coming up, the Cajun Cook-Off takes over Cathedral Square this Saturday. We're going to talk with the Child Advocacy Center about the food, the music, and more importantly, how your ticket helps local kids. Plus, donations pour in for an elderly DoorDash delivering dad. And 3 tiny kittens are safely rescued from inside an engine compartment. All of that is coming up in today's Take a Look at This. Let's go back outside and take another look at that brush fire that crews are battling at this very moment. Again, this is at Gulf State Park area. There's some roads that are shut down. Our house sheriff has been out there. We'll be checking in with him on the very latest coming up throughout the evening. So stay tuned to Fox 10 News and watch out for emergency crews if you are in that area. Welcome back into Fox 10 News at 4. The 10th annual Downtown Cajun Cook-Off is just days away. Local teams are going to fire up their pots and grills this Saturday at Cathedral Square in downtown Mobile. Such a fun event. Fox 10 News is always just so happy to be a part of this. And so joining us now are Child Advocacy Center leaders, Communications and Development Director Elaine Henderson and Executive Director Andy Wynn. Thank you both for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
So of course, this cook-off is going to benefit local children who are victims of abuse. That's what the Child Advocacy Center does. And that's why it's so important that Fox 10 News joins in with you guys to do this. So talk about the Child Advocacy Center for people that may not know what they are giving back to.
Okay. First of all, thank y'all for always helping us. Y'all have been very kind to us at the Child Advocacy Center. And I think all you have to do is watch your news every day to see the number of children who are being abused. Horrendous story today. But what we do is we're very unique in that we work from discovery of abuse to recovery. So we work with investigators when we have them, they're all co-located in our facility. Mobile Sheriff, the Mobile Police Department, we have DHR involved, we have the district attorney. So it begins with discovering, and that's the first step of healing for a child. And then once we start figuring that, we determine if the child's perpetrators can be prosecuted, which is also part of recovery for a child because it really is proof that what's happened is wrong. And we also have therapists through Lifelines, who are one of our partner agencies, where we begin therapy. And there's one type of therapy that really seems to work for this is trauma-informed cognitive behavioral therapy. Where we work with the kids to say, you know, it's not your fault, because they've been told the whole time it's their fault.
Yeah.
So it really is a multi-phase approach to helping a child recover.
Elaine, talk about the event and just how the Cajun Cook-Off just helps so much.
Oh, it's just an amazing event, and we just appreciate y'all being there from the beginning 10 years ago. But it's so fun to see the volunteers and the cooking teams coming together, and then of course we're supposed to have beautiful weather this weekend, so that's going to help sell the tickets. But it's a lot of camaraderie. We have great music. You can see the spirit of the community when you're there, the support. Cunningham Bounds took a leap of faith and believed in us 10 years ago. But we've got 23 cooking teams.
Okay.
We've got tickets on sale online and at several locations. You can go to our website and find out where. We have them at the Child Advocacy Center, and we're just looking for a great day.
Oh yeah, the weather, like you said, is going to be good. We're going to be out there as well. You've got all the information on the screen. Is there anything else that you want to say, either of you, before we let you go, just about why folks should come out and just how this benefits? Because again, it's fun to eat the food, but this is really about the kids.
It is.
Well, it really is, and it's just a way to say we believe in what y'all are doing and help. 75% of all our funding is from individuals. We're not heavily government funded or anything else. We believe in the kids we serve, and come out and help, share that feeling with us.
All right, well, we hope it is a huge crowd. There usually are a lot of you that come out and turn out, so please come this year to the Cajun Cook-Off this Saturday, and we will see you there. And if you're watching this and you want to rewatch it or share it with someone you know, just go to fox10tv.com. We're going to have this interview posted for you there shortly. We'll look for it after this newscast. All right, Jason, thank you. Crowdfunding donations are pouring in for an elderly veteran who was forced to come out of retirement. He's working to help pay bills, medical ones at that. as a DoorDash delivery driver. Jeremy Roth has this inspiring story in today's Take a Look at This. Welcome back. Today's entertainment news is filled with blasts from the past, including a powerhouse music tour and the return of an iconic film. Here's David Daniel with your Hollywood Minute.
I need this job. I can't lose it. I do not want to go back.
The Housemaid sequel is going ahead. Sydney Sweeney is set to return for The Housemaid's Secret alongside Oscar nominee Kirsten Dunst. Lionsgate says the film will have Sweeney's Millie taking a job with a woman she's never allowed to see. TLC, Salt and Peppa, and En Vogue are teaming for the It's Iconic Tour. The 36-city tour launches August 15th in Franklin, Tennessee. Ticket pre-sale begins Tuesday.
Oh man, wait to hear this. Wait to hear this. What is it, man? You guys want to go see a dead body?
Stand By Me has been remastered for its 40th anniversary. The Rob Reiner coming-of-age classic, based on the Stephen King novella, returns to theaters for 1 week beginning Friday. Settling in with my popcorn in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Love that one. Well, today is March 24th. Here's a look back at this day in history. In 1958, Elvis Presley was drafted into the U.S. Army. He served 2 years in Germany before returning home to resume his musical career. In 1989, the oil tanker Exxon Valdez ran aground in Alaska. More than 250,000 barrels of oil spilled into the water, killing more than 250,000 seabirds. Finally, in 2002, Halle Berry became the first black woman to win a Best Actress Oscar for her role in Monsters Ball. She remains the only black woman to have won the Best Actress Oscar. Next up, we're going to take a look at those stories headlining your news at 5, plus this. And we've got our crews busy working right now, bringing you breaking news updates and follow-ups, all for Fox 10 News at 5. First, we've got continuing coverage of this brush fire at Gulf State Park we told you about at the top of the hour. We're going to have your live report coming up. And then a woman says her family is lucky to be alive after someone shot into her house, hitting an oxygen tank, and then setting her home ablaze because of that. She's telling her story. Also, hemp retailers in Mobile may soon have a clear path forward. How city leaders are stepping up when Fox News at 5 starts in less than half an hour from right now. All right, Jason, thank you. A big day at USA Health Children's and Women's Hospital as they held a rededication ceremony for the Ronald McDonald House family rooms there. Fox 10's Stephen Moody was there and has more on how these rooms will help even more families who need them. A great, great place to go if you need it. We've got news for your health now. I was just looking this up on my phone, actually. Produce like spinach, grapes, and strawberries can carry high levels of potentially harmful pesticide residue. That's according to this year's Dirty Dozen report from the health advocacy organization Environmental Working Group. So EWJ has published the annual report since 2004. Nectarines, peaches, cherries, apples, blackberries, pears, potatoes, and blueberries also made the Dirty Dozen list. Spinach took the top spot. EWG says it holds more pesticide residue by weight than any other type of produce. For the first time, the report found more than 60% of all Dirty Dozen samples contain pesticides that are forever chemicals too, called PFAs. They're known as, again, forever chemicals because their molecular bonds can take years to decades, even centuries, to completely break down in the environment. Foods like cabbage, avocados, a couple of others are on the cleaner side of the Dirty Dozen. So what this just gives you is basically, if it's on the top 12 Dirty Dozen list, you may want to consider buying organic to avoid all those pesticides. Health experts with the Cleveland Clinic say when you hit snooze, you're decreasing the amount of rapid eye movement you're getting, better known as REM. A behavioral sleep medicine specialist says REM sleep is crucial for brain health, processing emotions, and memory. Most of the REM we get is during the early morning hours of our sleep, and chronic snoozing interrupts it. The recommendation puts your alarm across the room to help fight the urge to hit snooze. But if you're still having a rough time getting your day started, you may not be getting enough hours of sleep, or you could have a sleep disorder. You might be pregnant too, I don't know. There is advice to bring up any sleep issues, though, you have to your doctor and try to address them there. Travel woes remain at airports across the U.S., and passengers are facing long security wait times as the partial government shutdown continues. In today's Health Minute, many Gaither talks with a psychologist about staying calm and managing stress while you wait to fly. All right, Jason, we are looking forward to the Cajun kickoff for sure. And NASA is taking its next giant leap, laying out a roadmap for a permanent American foothold on the moon. Today, NASA outlined a plan to build a permanent base there. The agency says the goal is to strengthen U.S. leadership in space by establishing a sustained human presence. The plan calls for more frequent missions, initially targeting landings every 6 months. It'll roll out in phases, starting with robotic missions and then build infrastructure and later long-term stays. The first crewed moon missions since the 70s are set to begin next year. Now that the federal government has stopped making new pennies, some stores are rounding your cash total up or down instead of to the exact cent. The Alabama legislature wants to make sure everyone does it in the same way. It's today's In Depth with Sarah Wall. Even in a digital world, you can't replace a craftsman's hands or ear. And one man travels the world bringing pianos back to life in tiny churches and concert halls. Reporter Lainey Mayfield introduces us to the piano doctor.
Myers in the studio now with the latest, and Shelby, just a heartbreaking situation.
Yeah, it absolutely is, Cameron. I spoke with Kaylee Kreis earlier today. She was 26 weeks pregnant last Wednesday morning when she was driving at the intersection of North 9th Avenue and Bayou Boulevard in Pensacola. Police say a truck was speeding, ran the red light, and slammed into the driver's side of her car. She was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover, but her baby girl did not survive. On behalf of Kaylee and Brandon's families, they did release a statement that reads in part, quote, "While our hearts are broken, we find comfort in knowing that she is in the arms of Jesus and at peace. This child was deeply loved and already brought so much joy and hope. We are mourning all the moments and memories that will never be," end quote. Police did release this photo of the truck they say was involved, and they're hoping you can help them identify who was driving. So far, they have not made an arrest in this just yet, but if you know who drives this truck, call Pensacola Police at 850-435-1946. And there's also a GoFundMe set up to help the family. If you would like to donate, you can do so there. I've got it posted on this story, a link to it on this story on fox10tv.com. In the studio tonight, Shelby Myers, Fox 10 News.